You'd think I could remember after all this time. Will that come any further? No.
Okay,
Okay.
no, that's too bad.
Yes.
Let me
I'll
see if
talk
I can
loudly.
feed you some wine.
All right.
No, I cannot feed you wine.
Okay, that's it. It's going to have to sit there. Okay, I will officially call to order the October meeting of the planning board. Number one on the agenda is 1167 Gracie Cove Road, plat 19, lot 72-1. Gracie's Cove Road public hearing for the development plan review for an application by David J. Beck and Denise E. Beck for the, Deidre D. Beck for a special use permit under section 513D, 306E, 401 to convert an accessory residential structure to an accessory dwelling unit, advisory to the zoning board of review. Okay, I make a motion to open the public hearing.
Second,
Roberta,
No, this is, sorry, yep,
okay.
we're scheduling, sorry.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
I,
Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Joe, if you would.
Tracy representing David D. Beck, their son Grant is here, and Grant actually lives on the property and in the building that we're talking about putting a kitchen in. There are, if you look at the site plan on the building, a 4-bedroom house, a 3-bedroom existing 513, and a 2-bedroom accessory residential accessory structure with no kitchen. The only change that this application has is to install a kitchen in the, what is the garage building, the building you have pictures of, but not sketches, you do have footprints, but they show the kitchen. Other than that, there's nothing being done to the property at all. It will continue the existing use. The OWTS plan recently done shows that it has sufficient capacity for 9 bedrooms. It builds off of 2,600 and 2009. They're all incorporated. You have the plan of the existing one, you have the back, and we follow the background information. So I think it's pretty straightforward. There's no change in the landscape, no other changes on the property. So unless you have any questions from Mr. Beck or me, that's the presentation.
Okay, let me just make sure I understand. The kitchen, I understand the kitchen is going in, but where is the kitchen going in? That's part in this.
You have the building that has a garage in the basement, that remains a garage. And above it, there are 2 bedrooms and a living room.
Okay,
The kitchen is going in the living room. No change to the footprint.
no change in the footprint. Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure I
And then
understood.
the existing structure.
Okay, I want to make sure that I understood that correctly. Okay, are there other comments or questions?
no,
Okay,
I just wanted to make sure that on your, and maybe this isn't important, but on the drawings and on your application for special use permit, the terminology is wrong. And I just want to make sure that we're recording everything correctly, that you are, definitely getting 2 ADUs. Because
What we have now is an existing house, an existing 513 accessory residential structure, which has been redefined now as an accessory
dwelling unit,
So
okay,
that, we're not changing that, that's just been redefined.
okay,
And the accessory residential structure is becoming a section 513 accessory
ADU.
dwelling unit also.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, we'll have a single family dwelling unit and 2 section 513 accessory dwelling units.
okay. I just want to make sure that your plans all reflect, because on the plans, it even says, existing or converted accessory residential structures.
Call it an accessory residential structure, the 513, because that's what it was. approved
Okay.
as.
Okay,
But we're already, what it is, basically, that has been redefined as the accessory.
okay. I just want to make sure that the, requirements of an accessory dwelling unit are being followed, that it's going to be for year-round use, that,
And
There's a-
currently,
Mhm.
and there will be the necessary, if you believe it's granted, the necessary filings made.
great. Super. That was my one question.
good. Okay, Gail?
no, I'm good. That's good.
Okay. Questions from the audience?
Big crowd tonight.
Okay, all right, hearing no other questions. one last chance before I close it, because then we don't take any more comments. All
Joe,
right,
you have the total square footage for that, 513, the size
We filed with you the zoning review thing, it's about 525 square.
of finished living area, because there was like the footprint calculation, but that doesn't necessarily mean the
Yeah.
same equate, so,
It's well less than the 1,200.
Yeah.
more than-
yep, okay. And the decision, as far as Claire's point, like any decision of the zoning board will be very
Okay.
specific to make sure, like, that's what will be recorded, that zoning decision, and that will make clear what is being approved and, those uses. and-
Great,
Okay.
great. I just, the terms are so,
Yes, yes.
And you know that there's the recent amendment, for the 600 square feet doesn't count towards the lot building coverage. Or,
What I noticed was that there was a 1% increase you could have also, which we are, so we could theoretically have 5%, but we're sticking to 3.9.
Yeah.
Yeah, when they changed the 1,000, right? Has that been officially changed?
the amendment, yes.
Yeah, so now it's just 600 square feet more of a building. footprint.
For that.
Right, but we're, at this point, we're not asking.
Great.
And just for the planning board's purposes, so the reason obviously this is before you for a special use permit and development plan review is because there's gonna be two 513s on one lot, but they
Great.
meet those sizing requirements and the finding in the zoning ordinance that allows you to grant that is the finding that the development is consistent with the purposes of section 513 and the scale, use and siting of the proposed accessory dwelling unit or units is harmonious with the surrounding land use and development pattern. So that's within section 513, the special use permits for accessory dwelling units, that's your finding that.
I wouldn't mind adding one thing, and just saying thank you to the Beck family for doing this, because you don't have to, and it's helpful to you guys, it's helpful to the community, and it's great.
Really, the property has been developed to help island workers,
Mhm.
island families, and it's, I think,
Yeah.
and in quite a modest way.
It's great.
good. It doesn't make any change in footprint and so forth. So I think.
No
this is good.
construction, yeah.
Okay, great.
I mean, exterior, yeah.
A wall of a scene, so.
Right.
Okay. All right, I'll make a motion to close the hearing.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, hearing is closed. Okay. Allison, we have I think you got most of the findings as we were talking.
Mhm. Yep.
Okay, well, then I will make a motion that we send a favorable advisory to the zoning board for conversion of this building to a 513. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any questions, any comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. And you will list the findings that we've discussed.
Yep.
You want to find-
Yeah,
add it to that motion?
I want to make
You
sure
want me to incorporate it?
into the motion. Yes, please. I just didn't think
grant-
I would go through it all again, but particularly that there's no there's no change in the footprint. It provides an island family with a residential structure for the island, and the fact that this is really great for the community is an excellent idea. Plus the other stuff that we mentioned. So if you would, Claire, second motion. Okay, anything else we want to make sure that Allison and Jen add? No, I think that's it. Okay. All right, number 2. Mark McGuire and Jackson McGuire, oh, I'm sorry, Linda Jackson, plot 11, lot 10-2. Decision for advisory for a development plan review for an application for a variance from section 306C for the setback relief and for a special use permit under Article 3, Section 306E, Article 4, Sections 401 and 406 to demolish an existing single-family dwelling and replace it with a larger family dwelling, and it's an advisory to the zoning board. And would you make that motion, please, Sosha?
So moved.
Okay, and you get to read this whole thing.
Well, thank you.
I would like to make a motion, et cetera. I'm doing it to save my voice. Thank you.
Okay, I would like to make a motion to send a favorable advisory opinion to the zoning board of review on the special use permit and development plan review applications for the proposed residential redevelopment of Plat 11, Lot 10-2. The planning board reviewed building plans by Horrigan Builders dated 6/1/2023 and site plan by Marcus Channel PLS of Atlas Land Surveying dated May 2023. The proposal involves the demolition of an existing residential dwelling and the construction of a larger residential dwelling with 4 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms, and an in-ground pool. A public hearing for this application was held before the planning board on September 13, 2023. No abutters or other members of the public spoke in opposition to the project. Plat 11, Lot 10-2 is an existing lot of record of 84,434 square feet. Wetlands are present on the site and were delineated in April of 2023 by Ninigret Environmental and calculated as covering 2,802 square feet of the lot. The property includes 2 other structures associated with a single-family dwelling that are to remain a garage and barn. The application does not include any finished living area for those accessory structures. No plumbing is permitted in the garage structure per 2020 zoning board decision. The following table, do I read that?
No, you can just say the following table, we can refer to it.
Okay, and then I go to the next page.
That'll be fine.
In making its advisory opinion to the zoning board regarding the special use permit for the size and massing of the principal structure, the planning board determined that the project is consistent with the purposes of section 406 of the zoning ordinance and is consistent with the New Shoreham comprehensive plan. Within the purpose of section 406 is the finding that excessively large houses designed without regard to their setting are visually intrusive and in conflict with traditional New Shoreham development patterns that are critical to the unique island character. The intent of this section is to ensure that new residential development is designed and sited in a way that complements and does not detract from the island's natural, historic, cultural, and scenic character, the preservation of which is to the benefit of all residents and visitors. The design of the structures demonstrates an intent to mitigate negative impacts to the island's scenic landscape and public vistas. For example, the use of natural materials on the building's exterior blends into the landscape, and the architectural design breaks up the massing of the proposed development. The planning board bases its favorable advisory in part on the fact that the proposal is not excessively large and is designed below the living floor area and building volume thresholds established in section 406 and minimally exceeds gross area and building footprint thresholds, such as building footprint is 47 square feet over 2,000 square feet threshold. Zoning ordinance section 406G includes the following relevant standard. The construction of the residential structure does not require a variance for any dimensional standards, including lot building coverage, lot coverage or building height, with the exception of a variance for yard setback as recommended by the planning board to provide for more appropriate siting of the structure on the lot. In this case, the structure is proposed within the minimum 50 feet side setback distance to the abutting property line at approximately 38 feet. The new dwelling is sited in the same general footprint as the existing dwelling and allows for greater buffer distances for OWTS and well, and doesn't it mean as well as wetlands?
As wetlands.
Yeah. In rendering its advisory opinion on the development plan review application, the planning board finds that all relevant standards of section 501 of the zoning ordinance have been met, including traffic, emergency access, soil suitability, drainage, stormwater runoff, waste disposal, soil erosion, utilities, natural resources, cultural assets, water protection, and OWTS, and the standards specific to section 406 applications listed in 501B. The planning board finds that development will provide for and maintain convenient and safe emergency vehicle access to the proposed structures. Development will maintain the same access and exiting an existing stone driveway. The site plans include a dry well system for stormwater collection and pervious pavers for patio areas. An existing historic stone wall that is located along property lines will not be impacted by the proposed development. The planning board makes this favorable advisory opinion with the following conditions. The planning board finds the proposed residential development meets the performance standards contained in 514 residential structures in the RA and RB zones and standards in 406 with the exception of upper story deck. Several decks included in the plans reviewed by the planning board are not consistent with a section 406 standard requiring any elevated deck above the first floor is anchored so that there are at least 2 walls of the building bordering the deck. The application does not include a lighting plan. The applicant testified during the public hearing that the lighting design will incorporate a very minimal amount of exterior lighting, and selected features by the lighting consultant would be dark sky compliant, shielded, and directed out downward. The planning board recommends the outdoor lighting on the site be limited to the amount necessary to provide safe passage around the property and not for the purpose of highlighting architectural and landscape features. Fixtures shall be dark sky compliant, shielded, and directed downward. Retaining walls are to be constructed substantially consistent with the site plan and renderings and made entirely of stone. Retaining walls 32 feet in height or greater in height require a building permit. Plans and calculations for retaining walls must be prepared by a registered professional engineer and submitted to the building official once grades, elevation, and landscaping are determined.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Claire seconds, okay. Are there any additions, corrections, removals, etc.?
No.
I'm fine with it. Okay, Claire, you're all right with it? Gail, okay.
Yes.
And, okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, you're welcome. All right, number 3, Robert Kenny, Ocean Avenue Development for a development plan review for an application for a variance from section 113C1 and 313C for construction of a second floor onto an existing building, section 411, commercial residential mixed use. And if you will make that motion, Gail?
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to approve the development plan review application for plat 6.35, 454 Ocean Avenue. Planning board review and approval included the following material: a site plan dated August 23rd, prepared by Marcus Channel, PLS of Atlas Land Surveying, architectural plans prepared by W. Douglas Gilpin Jr., FAIA, with a revision date of 8/23/23, and a landscape plan prepared by Derek Van Lent dated 7/24/23. The project involves renovation of and second-story addition to an existing structure. The structure is a 1-story prior existing automotive repair shop that is located in the Service Commercial Zoning District on an undersized 0.26 acre lot. A commercial residential mixed-use structure is allowed by right in the Service Commercial Zoning District. The proposed use is a cafe on the first floor and a residential unit, 2-bedroom apartment on the second floor. The lot is triangular in shape and a dimensional variance was requested for an exterior staircase and the portion of the upper story addition within the side setback. In approving this site development plan, the planning board finds the project is consistent with all applicable standards of section 501 development plan review standards of the zoning ordinance. The development will not cause unreasonable traffic congestion, or unsafe conditions and complies with the town standards for parking and access. Site circulation and parking were reviewed by the planning board. More than the required number of parking spaces have been provided with confirmation by the zoning official during the public hearing. For commercial residential mixed use, one parking space is required per dwelling unit, plus requirements for the proposed commercial uses. Under the New Shoreham zoning code, the restaurant parking requirement is one space per every 10 seats, or 3 spaces if considered carryout. The site plan notes that the cafe will consist of 6 tables and 24 seats. The site plan delineates 4 parking spaces. There is also a crushed stone seashell driveway area dedicated to the residential unit.
No sound on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Mr. Stover's text.
Oh, no.
Karen, can you hear us? Karen?
Yes,
Okay, so
Can you hear me?
yes.
Millie and I went over this